All right, guys, let's talk about lesson 8, which is percent yield. Theoretical and actual yield are two components of your percent yield, so we're going to define those first. Theoretical yield is the maximum amount of product that can be calculated using the balanced chemical equation. So theoretically, if everything were to go okay and you were getting everything that you were supposed to as your product mass-wise, that would be your theoretical yield. Actual yield is after the reaction has been completed, the amount of product obtained when the reaction actually takes place. So how are these two things related? Well, they're related via what we call the percent yield. The percent yield is the ratio of the actual yield to the theoretical yield. So percent yield is equal to actual yield in grams over your theoretical yield times 100, and it's going to have a unit that is a percent. So let's look at an example. So the chemist was supposed to produce 75 grams of aspirin. However, he squandered some of the reactants for his own personal use, and he was later fired for this. So he only made 50 grams when he did the experiment. What is his percent yield? So we have our formula, actual over theoretical times 100. And so his actual yield was 50 because that's what he made in the lab. He was supposed to get 75, so we take 50 over 75 times 100, and we get 66.7%. So let's look at a practice. When I was a sophomore in college, we had a lab where we were supposed to isolate caffeine from tea leaves. Most of my caffeine was washed down the drain in a freak accident. Although I should have had 5 grams of caffeine, I only ended up with 0.40 grams of caffeine and a bad grade on the lab. What was my percent yield? Pause the video, answer this, and then unpause when you're finished. Great, well, welcome back. What you should have done was you should have taken your actual yield, which was 0.40 grams, divided it by 5, and times the 100, and gotten 0.80%, which is not good. Look at practice 2. A very sloppy student did not wait until his NaCl was dry before he weighed it. As a result, his product weighed was 2.25 grams, and when it should have been 1.75 gram. What is his percent yield? Pause the video, answer this, and unpause when you're finished. Great, what did you get? So, you should have taken 2.25 over 1.75 times 100 and gotten 129%, which, again, is not good. It's over 100. You can't, that's too much. Okay? So check your understanding. Based on the equation below, the theoretical yield for the product of NH3 was 30.93 grams. When the lab was completed, the chemist looked at the data, and only 20.4 grams of ammonia was produced. What is the percent yield? Answer this in your notes, and we'll talk about it tomorrow.